Good morning. Today is March 14, 2016 here at the Washington Family Church. So it's the second day after daylight savings time, 5 a.m. And we're reading the Cheon Seong Gyeong here on page 763. Subtopic, the best gift to take to the spirit world. Number 19. What gift can you offer when you stand before God in the spirit world? It is neither money nor prestige of an academic title, neither it is the affection you have for your loving spouse, not even a well-lived life, nor any other such thing. Such things cannot be gifts. You should take your love for God and your love for the world to that place. That is what remains. In John chapter 3, verse 16, it is written that God so loved the world, testifying to his love. That is why he sent his only begotten Son. His only begotten Son is the person who came to love the world. For this reason, if your faith is based on love, you will not perish. You will be saved, since the Lord loves the world. You should love the world together with him. 20. Do you have a special gift you can take to the kingdom of heaven? When you go to the spirit world, you will see the martyred, loyal servants of God lined up before you. In front of them, do you think you will be able to open up the bundle you have brought? What kind of suffering has the Unification Church gone through, and what kind of hardships have you gone through? Without going through whatever small hardships you have had, how could you say that you have lived for the sake of the nation and the world? We're now on page 764. It should be only natural for you to say, though I have suffered, I do not think of it as suffering. But you still have some way to go. You should be able to go to the spirit world, open up your bundle and say, these are the gifts I have prepared from my whole life, so please accept them. Considering the fact that when women married, they take large bundles of things with them to their new home. Should you go empty-handed with only your spirit self when you go to the kingdom of heaven? 21. This earth is the endless producer of the citizens of heaven. No one has realized this. The life course of the original couple living on this earth should be one in which they gave birth to sons and daughters as the citizens of the kingdom of heaven and raised them to become perfected people. Therefore, when a baby was born, that baby would have become a gift they could take along when the time came to go before God. Without such gifts, you cannot hold your head up proudly. When you return to your hometown, what can you boast of before your parents? Just as you would boast of how well you have raised your sons and daughters, the same would hold true when you go to the spirit world. When you go before God, there is no better gift than bringing God's children, the citizens of heaven, whom you have raised on this earth. Things like money, power, and knowledge are not important. 22. Parents with many sons and daughters have many object partners of love. So when they go to the spirit world, they can freely meet anyone in all directions. There are no evil women among those who have given birth to many children. Why is this so? It is because they have the mind of a mother who wants to raise her children. When they go to a village, they compare other children with their sons and daughters. If they are not as good as their own children, they think, I wish I could help them. Mothers naturally ascend to the higher state of the love in the realm of daily life. Those who have raised many children are thus in the highest place in the spirit world. 23. What kind of place is earth? It is a factory to produce the citizens of the heavenly kingdom. Heaven is vast and unchanging. It is infinite. So even if each person gives birth to 100 children, there is no overpopulation because heaven is so spacious. It is a world that can accommodate any number of people. Therefore, you should not practice birth control. When you go up to the next world, what matters will be how many citizens of the heavenly kingdom you have made and brought with you. You should know that when you bring many true sons and daughters of the heavenly kingdom, they are to your advantage. For they will serve as data in determining your rank in the heavenly world, as the basis on which you can win commendation. 24. When you go to the spirit world in the future, what should you take with you? You do not go there with money. You do not go there in the name of the Unification Church either. Therefore, what you should do from now on is to see how many sons and daughters you can create for God to love before you go there. Everyone can do this. When people give birth to babies, they can have only a limited number of children. What do you have to go through in the process of restoration? When you create many spiritual sons and daughters from among those in Satan's world, for God to love, this accomplishment connects with your ancestors and opens the way to liberate them. This is the greatest gift you can give in the course of restoration. 25. When you go to the spiritual world, you do not take money with you. Each person needs to restore more than 120 people. The citizens of the kingdom of heaven were all lost. By engrafting them, we bring them back to the proper place. For you to go to the 12 pearly gates in the spirit world, what matters is how many citizens of the kingdom of heaven you have recorded from Satan and restored while you were still on earth. To do so, you must shed tears, sweat, and blood. With the heart of recreation, you should invest your heart more than the fathers and mothers, husbands and wives, sons and daughters in Satan's world. Invest your heart and shedding tears, sweat, and blood. Otherwise, you cannot claim any citizens of the heavenly kingdom as your own. Your position of glory and your proximity to God in the next world will be determined according to this number. 26. What can you boast of when you go to the spirit world? You can boast of the number of lives you have saved. The first person you save, the second person, how many beyond your own tribe, how many people from how many nations you have connected to new life. This is your wealth. This and only this is your wealth. You will miss nothing in the spirit world because it lacks nothing. But if you did miss something, it would be true people. Thus, those devoted subjects who labored diligently to raise true people will naturally become glorious sons and daughters in the heavenly world. 27. It is more important to harvest citizens for God's kingdom than to eat. However, people are not clear about this. This should be their principal occupation. It is the main occupation of people who live on this earth. Among the things you should do in your lifetime, there is nothing more important than this. We're now on page 766. In this world, having a job and successful career and saving money all slip away. No matter how much money you amass, it will be of no use in the other world. Material things are not necessary in the next world. There's no need for knowledge. Even if there is something you have never learned, your mind will already know it. You will come to know everything within a week. 28. In going to the spirit world, the kingdom of heaven, what you need are spiritual sons and daughters. You need spiritual children. By witnessing, you can resurrect spirits. Therefore, the work you carry out on earth does not affect only the earth. You are carrying out that work in order to bring an end to all that was defiled through the fall. 29. Heaven is an infinite world where everything is connected by bridges of love. If the people you have witnessed to are spread across the world, through them paths would be formed over which you can travel to and fro, covering a much wider area. When you go to the spirit world, everyone will want to connect and relate with you, just as on earth you connected to us through ideology. A similar structure will be organized around you in heaven. It is like having many students who you have educated. When you pass on to the next world, after resolving everything on earth, you will be able to resolve things in the spirit world through your relationships in a much wider realm of activity. 30, you should not let time fly by aimlessly. Only when you have given birth to and raised sons and daughters during your younger years can you love behind a foundation that can be proud of before your descendants. Only when those children become great people can you be proud before history. If you do not have historical accomplishments that you can be proud of, you may be able to join the ranks of your family and your town, but you will not be able to join the ranks of your nation. To reach the national level, you need accomplishments that can remain in the historical tradition. Everyone desires to leave behind something for the nation, for the world, and for heaven and earth. Therefore, you need to know clearly that your life purpose is to establish your own realm of ownership. When you follow God's will, like it or not, you can never consider giving up. It's almost like 15 minutes here. We're an hour ahead than before. Tomorrow we'll be reading about the returning resurrection and divine spirit works. And have a great and wonderful day today, Monday, March 14. And my name is Francis again. Have a great and wonderful day ahead. Today is cloudy with maybe 40% of rain. So, manse, have a great day again. Bye-bye.